Welcome, seekers of the truth, to the Magical Services channel. So, this is going to be a most supreme love horoscope for the general collective for the day of July 13th, 2026. With that said, collective, let's get into your horoscope. So, the emotional landscape of July 13th, 2026 is unlike the days that preceded. The final hours of the waning crescent usher the collective toward a powerful new moon in Cancer, marking one of the year's most significant emotional resets. This is not merely a day of fresh beginnings, it is a profound transition between endings and beginnings in matters of the heart. Relationships that have exhausted their purpose naturally reach their conclusion, while genuine emotional bonds receive an opportunity to be renewed from a place of greater honesty and maturity. The atmosphere favors emotional truth above all else. Cancer dominates the sky through the sun, moon, and retrograde Mercury, placing emotional security, family, vulnerability, and authentic affection at the forefront. Love becomes less about appearances and more about emotional safety. Many people will feel an unusually strong desire to be understood without having to perform or pretend. Those connections that provide emotional shelter can become increasingly valuable, and they do, in fact, while superficial interactions begin to feel empty and unsatisfying. Mercury retrograde in Cancer intensifies this process by directing attention toward unfinished emotional conversations. Memories may return unexpectedly. Former lovers may reappear, whether physically or simply within your thoughts. Old messages, photographs, familiar places, or songs may awaken feelings that seemed long forgotten. Rather than viewing these experiences as setbacks, they should be understood as invitations to gain emotional clarity. The purpose is not necessarily reconciliation, it is understanding. Some relationships deserve another chance because both people have genuinely evolved. Others return only to demonstrate why they ended in the first place. Wisdom comes through careful reflection rather than impulsive reaction. The approaching new moon amplifies this introspective atmosphere. As the lunar illumination diminishes to nearly complete darkness, emotional noise also begins to fade. This creates an unusual opportunity to distinguish authentic feelings from temporary loneliness, attraction from compatibility, and fantasy from reality. Decisions made from emotional calm are likely to prove far more successful than those driven by anxiety or fear of abandonment. Venus traveling through Virgo offers one of the day's greatest blessings for romantic development. Love expresses itself through reliability, consistency, and practical demonstrations of care rather than dramatic declarations. Small acts of kindness possess extraordinary power now. Remembering important details, offering assistance during stressful moments, maintaining promises, and showing genuine attentiveness communicate affection more effectively than extravagant romantic gestures. Individuals seeking lasting relationships benefit by appreciating substance over spectacle. For established couples, Venus encourages improving the relationship through practical cooperation. Problems become solvable when both partners focus on serving the relationship rather than defending personal pride. Honest discussions about routines, responsibilities, health, finances, or shared goals strengthen intimacy because they demonstrate commitment to building a stable future together. Singles encounter a different but equally promising influence. Romantic opportunities may emerge through everyday environments rather than glamorous settings. Someone initially overlooked could gradually reveal qualities that inspire genuine admiration. Instant chemistry remains possible, but lasting attraction is more likely to develop through repeated interactions, shared responsibilities, and mutual respect. Mars in Gemini introduces curiosity and increased communication into romantic dynamics. Conversations become lively, playful, and intellectually stimulating. Flirting thrives through wit, humor, and clever exchanges. However, Mars also warns against scattered emotional energy. Entertaining multiple romantic possibilities without sincere intention may create unnecessary complications. The greatest progress comes from directing attention toward the connection that consistently demonstrates mutual effort rather than chasing constant novelty. Uranus continues its movement through Gemini, bringing unexpected developments in communication. A surprising confession, spontaneous message, chance encounter, or unexpected introduction could dramatically alter someone's romantic trajectory. Flexibility becomes essential because love may arrive or change direction in ways that were impossible to predict only days earlier. Jupiter in Leo expands the heart's capacity for generosity, confidence, and joyful expression. This influence encourages people to love boldly instead of cautiously. Emotional openness becomes a source of strength rather than vulnerability. Healthy relationships flourish when both individuals celebrate each other's successes instead of competing for attention. Confidence attracts authentic affection, while insecurity becomes increasingly difficult to hide. Saturn in Aries reminds everyone that lasting love requires courage and accountability. Romantic fulfillment cannot be achieved solely through hope or chemistry. It demands consistency, mature decision making, and a willingness to address problems directly. Those who have avoided necessary conversations may find that circumstances now require honesty. Although difficult discussions may initially create discomfort, they ultimately establish stronger foundations for genuine intimacy. Neptune retrograde in Aries encourages careful examination of romantic ideals. It becomes easier to recognize where imagination has replaced reality. If someone has consistently shown disinterest, inconsistency, or emotional unavailability, Neptune gradually dissolves the illusions that once justified those behaviors. Conversely, truly loving partners become easier to appreciate because they no longer need to compete with unrealistic expectations. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius continues its deeper work beneath the surface, transforming collective ideas about relationships and emotional power. Old patterns involving control, emotional manipulation, fear of intimacy, or dependency become increasingly unsustainable. Relationships capable of adapting to greater equality and authenticity emerge stronger than before. Those built upon imbalance may undergo irreversible transformation. The true nodes emphasize a larger lesson involving emotional refinement and spiritual growth. Love is evolving away from perfectionism, excessive criticism, and conditional affection toward greater compassion, forgiveness, and emotional acceptance. Many people will recognize that lasting partnerships are sustained not by finding flawless individuals, but by creating environments where both people can grow honestly together. As the new moon approaches throughout the day, the emotional atmosphere steadily shifts from release toward renewal. This is an excellent period for setting heartfelt intentions regarding relationships. Whether your desire is to attract new love, heal emotional wounds, deepen an existing relationship, strengthen trust, or finally release someone whose chapter has ended, the celestial climate supports conscious new beginnings rooted in emotional authenticity. Overall, July 13th, 2026 represents a turning point rather than a destination. The heavens encourage emotional maturity without sacrificing tenderness, discernment without cynicism, and hope without illusion. Love now favors those willing to communicate honestly, act consistently, and build relationships upon genuine emotional security rather than temporary excitement. As one lunar cycle ends and another begins, the greatest romantic opportunities belong to those prepared to leave yesterday's emotional burdens behind and welcome tomorrow's connections with an open, wiser heart. So that is what I had for you today, Collective. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like this video or comment this video or share this video or hype this video. Or subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, or hype our channel by letting your friends and acquaintances who would benefit from it know about it. All those acts would be great and greatly appreciated. Um, there's a magical service being offered in the description box. Feel free to check it out. It could be very interesting for sure. And beyond that, I thank you so much for being here and for being part of our circle and being part of our tribe and supporting our channel. Until the next time, blessings.